Hi everybody. So today we need to start baling. I pulled the baler up here and I was just checking it over. I greased all the grease zerts that I could find. Surprisingly, there aren't very many on this that I could find. Actually pretty much all of them are just right here on the knotter. But I was looking at all the chains since the last time I had out. I had a problem with that other chain tensioner, and all the chains were super loose on it, so I went through and actually tensioned all of the chains. The only thing I'm kind of worried now is that it might be out of time because of how loose they were. They were extremely loose, and really I should have gone over this thing 100% when I got it. So I think I got everything lubed up. I want to make sure it runs still before I take it out there. Alright, so let's see if it'll start. It all seems to be working fine. It doesn't seem to be out of time at all, so I guess it's time to get out to the field. It's the next day now. It got pretty dark last night, so I had to stop. The baler's doing good. I've been making some more rounds now. Sorry about the wind. I've been dropping a bale about every 20 or 30 feet, which is quite a bit. I think we're probably gonna get close to 100 bales out here, which is way more than I ever got on that other field. But of course, this grass was way longer. So I had 2 bales that didn't tie correctly, but I just kept going and it worked through it just fine. So not really sure what happened, but that's actually the first bales I've had not tie since I started this season. So that's pretty good, I'd say. And it came out of it, so it should be fine. I'll probably just run back over those piles and rebale them. It tends to work when you do that. So, but they're good, tight bales. So working really good. You can see that there's some sticks sticking out of them. I have missed a couple, but fortunately the shear is working really good in there, so it's just cutting right through those, and quite honestly I don't even notice those are in there. I guess we'll keep going. We got quite a bit more to go. I'm probably maybe about halfway right now, so got a lot more to go, so let's get to it. right, so I was going along here and all of a sudden everything on the baler just stopped. The flywheel was spinning, PTO shaft was spinning, but everything on the baler just completely stopped. I'm assuming I got a big stick stuck in there, but I came back here and I decided to turn the flywheel to back it up, and it's turning. The plunger and everything else is turning with it. And I thought that was kind of weird because when I had it running, none of that was working. But then I saw this little bolt was stuck right in here and it looked like it was popping out, so I went and grabbed it, and sure enough it sheared off. So you can see the other bolt on the other side, or the same bolt on the other side. So apparently that's a shear pin right there, and I'm assuming I just got a big stick stuck in there. So I need to go get another bolt. I think I have another shear pin from the sickle mower, so hopefully that's the same size and I'll stick that in there. Of course, I'm all the way at the other end of my property, so it's going to be quite a hike back, but I'm probably going to try to dig in here and make sure that's the only thing that's broke. If that's the only thing that's broke, then I'll probably just run back real quick and then bring the shear pin back. But if something else is broke, if a chain's broke or something like that, then I'm probably just going to drive the whole tractor back. But I'm pretty sure it's probably just a stick in here. That'd be my guess. So dig through here a little bit and see a stick right there, which those sticks have been going through just fine. I'm assuming it's something bigger, which there's another stick. I knew this back part back here was gonna be a little bit rougher, and that's why I left it till last pretty much, because the other field was fairly clean, but this one had a lot of little sticks and trees growing up in it. So I figured worst case scenario, I broke something I can't fix right away, I would just leave this and then they would just take the rest of the bales. But I want to figure out what actually stuck in here, because I'm sure there's something just stuck in this that just completely got it blocked. I was trying to watch, but sometimes you can't see everything because the hay covers up quite a bit of stuff, unfortunately. So there's something there. Oh, there's a small bush, and there's a decent sized tree in there. It looks like that actually sheared off though, so I don't know. Maybe it was just a bunch of those all at once. That's a possibility as well. I honestly think that it was just those bigger sticks, because I don't see anything else in there. I think what I need to do is get this bolt out of here, which I don't know, maybe I should just take it back. I'll see, and then I'll be back with you. All right, we're back out here with the baler. I was unable to find anything yesterday. I didn't have any bolts or pins or anything that were the right length. So I was able to find these at the hardware store. They should be about the right length. I couldn't find any shear bolts that were the right length, and I also couldn't find anything that was the exact same diameter. For some reason, this is a special diameter, but the thread pitch was normal, so it's probably a special pin or something. But I just got some lower grade bolts, so hopefully that'll work better. Let's try to get this in here and see how it goes. I got that in there. It's definitely a smaller diameter than the other one was, but hopefully it'll work all right. I also put a nylon nut on the end, so it shouldn't come off. And I have an extra one if this does break, since it is smaller. Hopefully nothing else broke. I didn't actually look over the rest, but I'm more concerned why it stopped, because it didn't really seem like there were that big of sticks in there. There were a couple big ones, and maybe the pin or the shear bolt was wearing down over time of hitting all these sticks and stuff, and it just finally went. I'm hoping that's the case. It did look like it was right in the middle of tying a knot when that happened, but it doesn't look like the needles got hit at all. Hopefully everything will be okay. All right, let's see what happens. it's fine. Well, luckily we learned that it is just as weak as the other one, so that's good. Sheared off perfectly. It probably isn't big enough or strong enough though, because I was pulling stuff out of there and there really isn't anything in there. I was going through quite a thick bundle of hay right here, so you can see it's pretty stacked in there, which I've been trying to go a little bit and then stop and just let it run and catch up and then pull forward a little bit, because there's a lot of this hay that kind of got clumped up like this. So it's really a lot of hay at once for this thing. I've really noticed that this baler does not like a lot of hay at once. I don't really see anything in here. There was one little branch in here, but it's tiny compared to stuff I've seen go through here. This bolt is smaller than the original one, so I'm assuming that's probably the biggest problem, but I don't know. I have another bolt, so I'm gonna put that in there and see if we can keep going. Well, I was able to finish the field. All of my equipment was able to keep working throughout the whole thing, which is pretty awesome. So I came out with a total of 133 bales in this field, which is quite a lot because the grass was just so long that it was spitting out a bale so quickly. But I went through quite a few of these pins here. So right here, this bolt, it's actually a little loose. So it's actually probably about to break again, but I went through, I think 4 of those, which is good. I'm glad that that's the breaking point when it gets stuck or whatever, but I noticed like on the last couple times it broke, I dug through there and there weren't any branches. I just sucked up a whole lot of hay at once, and that's what really just clogged it up, I guess. It was just too much force to be able to cut all the hay at once. So yeah, I probably need to find the original shear pin that went in there, because the original one lasted a lot longer than that. I think it'd be better to have the original one, but I don't know where to find it. I'll have to look online, see if I can find a part number or something for it. But other than that, the knotter was working good. I think I only had, I want to say 4 bales total that didn't tie. I'm not quite sure why, but they just didn't tie and they just spit them out the back. But I went back over a couple of them and rebaled them. But yeah, so there's still 1 bale in here I need to pull out, and then there's a partial bale here that I'm probably just gonna pull out and throw on the ground. And then I need to get this all blown out, get all this little hay dust and stuff off of here. Inside here is pretty messy, so I want to get all that blown off and get it all cleaned up for winter storage. And then yeah, I guess that'll be it for hay baling for this year. In the next video, I plan on taking my brush mower and going through all of this as much as possible anyway. And a lot of the little trees that are maybe like an inch diameter or less, I'm just gonna mow right over. And then anything bigger than that, I want to pull out, because eventually I want to plow this whole field and reseed it. I think that'd be pretty awesome. So there's obviously some pretty big trees out there, and back there in the corner is where the biggest trees are. But like I've said before, I'm planning on getting an excavator or something, renting an excavator to come out here, and then I can just dig up all these trees, because if I just cut them down, all those stumps and roots are going to be left in there, and that's going to be a big pain when I'm trying to plow it. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. So bonus footage, I decided to take this shear bolt out right here, and as you can see, it's already just working its way through the bolt. So this bolt is probably just too weak or too small diameter, and over time it just works its way through it. So I'm probably gonna have to find a better bolt to go in there, but honestly most of the time I'm probably not gonna have a problem with it, because I'm not usually putting this much hay through it. But yeah, that's definitely a problem. I don't want to have to keep changing these, although I did buy a bag of 20 of them just in case, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find the original, but probably gonna have to look into that. But yep, see you later.